My name is DENNY CRAYCRAFT from BELDING, and this has been one of my major projects for the last 2.5 years to pay tribute to our Vietnam veterans. And I think with the people in our community and the surrounding area, they're just outstanding because they're the ones that are paying for this with no reservations, standing right up, and it's been a good pressure relief valve for me to pay tribute to my brothers and sisters that were over in Vietnam, and I'm very proud to be part of it.
Well, thank you very much, Denny, for not only serving in Vietnam, serving our country, but I'm going to take some pictures here of the masterpiece that you've taken time to build when you didn't have to. That's got to be a huge blessing for a lot of people.
I thought maybe it'd bring some closure.
Yeah.
But it isn't.
No?
It isn't.
No.
But it's been a big pressure relief valve with a lot of my issues that I've had. So it has been a plus for me.
Well, a lot of younger generation maybe can learn some things from older people before they pass about it. I don't know. I hope we learn some lessons about sending our young men and women off to war.
You know,
we can't win it. We shouldn't be involved in it.
I think that's the attitude of our government today.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be one thing that I really knew of. I've been state officer and local commander for many years at our local VFW, and we sort of made a bond amongst ourselves that these other veterans coming back and going over to the war would never be treated like we got treated when we come back. And I think we've done a good job of that.
Well, do you mind if I put this on YouTube?
No, I don't mind.
Okay, I do some YouTube stuff, and we put it on YouTube, it'll be captured long after you and I are in the grave.
That's been one of my hardest projects. You know, the money raising for this, $300,000. It's been a chore, but it's been an adventure with the people that I've met throughout the state and even out of state. But the continuity that we're doing with this. But the hardest part on this project has been trying to get it out in the eyes of the people of Michigan, because we got 2,654 names on that wall. Every Vietnam veteran that was killed in Michigan is on that wall.
Wow.
So it's been a real task for me to get it out and let the people way down in the Detroit area and the UP to let them know that this monument is there and their people and their community is on this wall. You know, I mean, it's just a small little town of Belding, but it's not a Belding monument. This is a Michigan Vietnam memorial.
Wow.
You know, so.
Well, what a blessing. Thanks so much, Denny, for all you've given, and probably, well, we'll take a little bit of video footage of this just to help people who aren't familiar with it. Beautiful. It's awesome. Get a little reflection there, I think. There we go. All the names of the brothers, sisters who gave their lives for the Vietnam conflict. Go down here and take a look-see from another perspective. But this is downtown Belding. Anybody can come down here and look at it. No doubt Denny greatly appreciates all those who's donated to help make this possible. I just was telling Denny, I gave him a copy of this testimony book, a real life story testimony book, and said my stories in there, chapter 20, some of my Vietnam involvement, and he can read it if he wants or not. And I said, but I feel like I owe God. You know, I was going to commit suicide, and God made himself real, and I told him I was going to try to live my life to please him somehow, some way. And so I deliver testimony books around and try to help people from self-destructing like I was going to self-destruct. And Denny, you know, it's kind of like he feels his call was to do this. And it's very commendable. And he was just sharing with me, well, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have been able to raise the funds to do this. So I'm talking, but I'm going to let him share that.
As I was spoken to you earlier about, you know, I'm working through the VFW as commander in the past. You know, we put on programs for the community and the kids, and I'm used to $1,000 or $1,500 project. And when one of my World War II veterans showed me the World War II wall that used to stand here in Belding from 1942 to 48 before it was tore down.
Okay.
And I decided to make the reconstruction of that wall. And that's where this whole park, we've been working on the park for over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And I was thinking, well, what's it going to cost me to build that wall that stood here from 1942 to 48? And I said, I could probably get it done, you know, $9,000 with a lot of help with the community. And $140,000 later, we got that wall up and done in the pad, and this little voice kept talking to me. He says, let's go to the World War I, the World War II. He says, you can do it. And I know who was talking to me. I know who was talking to me.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for sharing it, Denny.
Right.